EigerStudios. My name is Lenny Eiger, and today we're going to show you how to mount a negative on a drum for use in a drum scanner. This here is a drum, a clear piece of plastic that has a baked-on coating that's very delicate and sensitive, and we are going to attach a piece of film to it and show you how this is done. Michael Cohn, my trusty assistant, is handling the camera today, and we're going to mount up one of his 8x10 negatives. Before I begin, I want to share with you some of the materials that we use to do this mounting. So the first and most important, of course, is drum mounting fluid. This is a clear liquid. This particular brand is made by Cami. There are other brands, but this one is one we've used for a long time with no issues. And so we like it very much. The other thing that Cami makes is a drum cleaning fluid, and this is blue, so that it's very easy to tell which is which, and you can just grab the bottle that you need. They make another one, another bottle of fluid that's a film cleaner, but we almost never use film cleaner. The film just doesn't need to be cleaned, in our opinion, and it's very dangerous. If a drop of film cleaner lands on our drum here, we could just ruin this drum instantly. So it's something that we take care of not to use unless it's absolutely necessary. The other thing is that in cleaning the drum, we find that the large size PEC pads work the best for us, and they come in 3x3 inches and 9x9 inches, and this is that larger size, and it's very handy to use. Finally, well, not finally, almost finally, we have Aztek AZ42. I call it clear acetate, but clear acetate, but I believe it's actually mylar of some sort, but I'm not entirely sure. And finally, we have the mounting tape, and this is Cami mounting tape, which is very nice mounting tape in that it's actually chemically matched to the drum cleaner, so it comes right off. Right, just wipe it, and any tape residue that's on the drum after taping comes right off. Okay, so that's it for the materials. Of course, an X-Acto knife and a pair of scissors. Very useful. All right, let's begin. I've already got a PEC pad out here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it over and squirt a little of this drum cleaner on it. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I go over the edges. Alright, and that's firmly seated in the mounting station, and I'm going to put on my glasses so I can see a little easier, and I'm going to fold this over to the clean side, give it a little bit more drum cleaner, and go over, and now this time I'm really looking at it and making sure that there isn't a single piece of dust or anything else. On occasion we do clean the inside as well, and I'll use a nylon or cotton glove for that. Now I'll grab my acetate and put it on the drum here. Now at the top of this drum we have two lines. One is the line of the white tape, and underneath there's a score line. And for the scanner to operate properly, nothing must be above that score line. And so I'm going to line this up nicely, hold my hand on it, and I'm going to back the drum off. Alright, and make sure that I have a nice even line across on the score line. At which point I'm going to back it off, and having done this a few thousand times, there's some gradated marks here, and I know it's about 2 1/8 of one of those. Alright, I'm going to grab some of my tape and pull it out to about this far. And I need to overlap this about 1/8 of an inch, which is right where we are. And then I take my fingers from the center, slide out, and that'll make a nice flat, no ridges contact. Alright. If in fact you get a little bit more tape than you expect and it goes over here, that's what the X-Acto knife is for. You can slide it into this vertical score line and cut the tape right down there and then pull it right off. Very easy, it comes right off. Nice and clean. Okay, I'm going to roll it so that the roller just covers the edge of the tape, and then I'm going to flip the acetate up and under this thing here. Now I've got this dispenser. These are called unitary dispensers, and I've just put some mounting fluid in it, and I just squirt a little bit out like that. Very nice. Alright. And there's one more step, which is, if I did it this way, if I slid the negative in now, it would likely slide a little bit under the tape. And I don't want a tape line on my scan, so I'm going to give it one more click, and then I'm ready to go. This is one of Michael Cohn's negatives, and our videographer today. And I'm going to slide it in. Now, the way I do it, this mechanism here is almost perfectly perpendicular to this drum, and the roller is on the drum. So as I slide it in, if I have the same amount of pressure on both sides, the negative will be nice and square. And it's nice when it comes out of the scanner nice and square and you don't have to use Photoshop to rotate it. So we like to do it square at EigerStudios. Alright, so what I've done while I was talking about squareness is I've just moved it a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch in, so that it pinches the negative, and I don't have to worry about the position of the negative. It's nice and secure. I mean, I'm not going to grab it or anything like that and yank on it, but I don't have to worry about it. Alright, so now we go to town and put lots of mounting fluid onto the negative. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of pressure right here, just a little bit, and I'm going to roll this through. Okay? Now, I then take this and this pec pad we've been using, and I dry it off here because I want a dry surface for taping. Alright? And now here's my fancy trick. When I put the tape on here, I use my finger to rub it and heat it up. And that makes this very tenuous little adhesion much better. And I can really yank on it. Okay? If I was doing 35mm or medium format negatives, I would likely just put one piece of tape in the center, one in the middle here, and one at the corner on either side. But since this is an 8x10 and it's right up against the edge of the tape, I'm going to have two in the middle here and one at the corner. A little heat and pull. This is Cami 1-inch tape, and I like the 1-inch tape much better. A lot of people use the 1/2 inch, but this gives me, it's very easy to sort of get it adhered and yank on it and get a lot of pull, which I like to do. Okay, and I'm getting 3/4 to 1/2 inch little pieces of tape here. And pull. This is the most critical part right here of mounting a scan, because if you pull evenly across here, you will have no bubbles in your scan, and that's what we're looking for. I've done an 8x10 here because 8x10 is actually the hardest of the negatives to do. I'm going to roll this through and lift up. Okay, I'll dry off the excess and dry it off on the right side, slide over, dry it off on the left side. Alright. Pull enough tape to my mark on the table, and then I'm lining myself up pretty carefully here, and then lots of pressure. Okay. Once again, never let metal touch this thing. Alright, and I'm going to take the excess from what I didn't use on the side, and I'm going to use it here. And I'm going to fold it up in half so that I can get a little heat on the top of this tape. Make sure it's all secure. And then I'm going to use every one of my fingers to pull as evenly as I can and fold it over. Okay? And that's very nice. Alright, we're going to go to the other side now. And I'm going to line up here. Oops. Okay. And nice and taut. And nice and straight as well. It's important not to go left and then go right and go left and go right, because what happens is that you get a ridge, and we don't want ridges in our tape. The idea is to get this negative encased in this sandwich of acetate and liquid, and to make sure that none of that liquid ever decides to go spinning out into the scanner. So there you go. That's a nice edge there. I run my fingers across the tape here, making sure there's no inconsistency, and there's no chance that any single piece of tape will lift up, or there'll be a little inconsistency in one place or another. If I find anything, I'll take a little bit of this 1/2-inch tape and just go right over it. At this point, what I want to do is look for the little bubbles, and there are inevitably little bubbles on the side. This one looks pretty good. But the interesting thing is that while one would imagine that you would see the bubbles better through the light, it's actually easier with the light off, because now I can see there's a pile of bubbles there, right? It's just a matter of the direction of the light and where it's coming from. And they're very easy to get out. Sometimes they take a little pushing, but these are not the bubbles that we're worried about. It's this one here that we worry about. And these are good. We can just slide those over gently, and it's just a matter of distribution of liquid and how it goes. So, there you have it. One perfect scan mount from EigerStudios, ready to go into the scanner and hopefully make a great scan. And I hope this little video has been helpful for you, and happy scanning.